Hey, what's going on? Jason here. In this video, I'm going to give you a scenario that you may run into a time or two when you get the idea you want to integrate something with ActiveCampaign. So let's go down here to this apps menu and let's look at Zoom. A lot of people like using Zoom for webinars. Honestly, not my favorite. I think there's better options out there, but it's super popular, so let's take a look at this. All right, Zoom. Let's say you want to integrate your Zoom webinar so that when people register for them, they pop into your ActiveCampaign account. Okay? Now you'll notice there's no connect button. With ActiveCampaign integration enabled by Zapier, blah, blah, blah. So again, here's what Zapier does. If you look at ActiveCampaign, and you look at Zoom, they do not have a direct integration. Okay, so this whole idea is not going to work. Can't talk to each other. Okay, what Zapier does, Zapier, and I'll show you this, is a really cool program. It can get very complicated, but it allows communication to come from Zoom to Zapier, then from Zapier to AC. It allows this to happen. So it's a third party and in between step. Here's Zapier. You can use a free plan, which lets you build up to 5 two-step zaps, right? Which doesn't mean anything if you've never used it. Now this is my account. It is a paid account. You don't need this for what I'm showing you in this video. Okay, so you see 2 steps, you have a trigger, and you have an action. Stuff like this, you can use the free account for, okay? All right, so if we are doing a Zoom, let's see, do I have Zoom set up here? I do. So the way that you do this with Zapier, the first thing you need to do is add connections into your Zapier account. So you would add ActiveCampaign, you would add Zoom, and it'll tell you what you need, right? So, you come here to ActiveCampaign. It is going to ask you for your API URL, your API key. Let me show you where you get those things. Okay, you're going to come over here to your settings. You're going to come up here to developer, API URL, API key, and look, they even put little convenient copy buttons for you. With Zoom, let's see what you have to do for Zoom. Again, mine's already integrated, but what's it going to ask you for? Okay, so what it would want is if you had Zoom open in the background, you hit allow, they'll talk to each other and connect. Okay, so once you get those in here as apps, then you can create the Zap. So this video is really about making a use case for Zapier. That's me saying, here's why you should probably have a Zapier free account. So the first step in a Zap is the trigger. What starts the automation, what knocks over the domino. In this example, it's going to be Zoom. And with Zoom, there's actually meetings that people do. There's actually recordings, and if you read here, let's see, okay, they've changed this a bit. Okay, so they used to have a separate option for webinars. So here it is, new registrant triggers when a new registrant is added to a webinar. Now here's one thing I don't like about the Zoom Zap. You have to pick, okay, so it says my Zoom is not connected, so let's go ahead and connect it for real. And what I will do is log into my account. Is this my account? It is. Yes, okay. So what I will do is Zapier is telling me that it needs to be refreshed. Agree, allow. For whatever reason, I'm having some issue with it. But what you'll do is you have to choose, so you have to have the webinar created in Zoom. And I don't have webinars in Zoom, but you would see them in here, okay? So you have to have the webinar created in Zoom. And every time you have a new webinar, you have to come into this Zap and change it. On the action step, this is where you're putting the data into ActiveCampaign. All you need to do for this step here is you're going to use, let's see, create or update contact. That's what you want to use, right? Pick your account, continue, and then, all right, so the one thing you need is you're going to take the information from Zoom, and it'll show you like first name, email, etc. And you'll put the Zoom email step into this. And if you want to do first name, last name, you can. And you can even come down here and create a custom tag to pass from Zoom into ActiveCampaign as well, right? Whatever you want that to say. So you could have email as a minimum, and you could add some other fields as well. And then once you hit continue and it all works, then anytime somebody registers for that webinar, you can pass the information into ActiveCampaign, right? I've got some errors in this example. I'm not going to work on fixing them. I will take one more look out of curiosity at why my Zoom does not want to connect. Let's see. Test connection. That works. And I don't think it needs to be reconnected. I think it's all good. And this will tell you if there's an issue. So it looks like it's been resolved. Now I am going to go back to that Zap and take another peek. And it'll be down here. Let's see, Zoom and ActiveCampaign. This is what I was just working on. And let's see. Yeah, so the error's gone. Problem is I don't have the webinar. You have to pay for it. I don't have the webinar plan, so I can't really show it to you there. But you understand in theory what we're trying to do there. Okay, so it's pretty easy to do. There is, I believe, help docs with it as well. If you have to Google it, it's pretty simple to do. So there you go. There's just an example, and again, this really wasn't about Zoom and ActiveCampaign. It's just an example when you have two programs that you want to talk. One thing that I do, like I'll tell clients, is if something isn't in Zapier, if it's not an option, I wouldn't even use it. So like when you're talking about a mom and pop, right? And you can do this without even logging into Zapier, but like say you have a CRM called Jason, right? I'm just making something up. When you see this, I wouldn't use it, because if it doesn't talk to ActiveCampaign or doesn't talk to other programs, it's going to be a big pain in the butt, and you're basically killing the ability to automate, and you're making manual steps in your marketing. It's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here, right? So Zapier has a ton of softwares it connects with, and it makes your life a lot easier. Some really cool things you can do with it, but one of the reasons I like ActiveCampaign, well, there's a few things in Zapier, right? So these are on the trigger side. Look at all these options. I'll put it in both sides, which makes no sense, but I want to show you all the options available as a trigger from ActiveCampaign. Some programs have one or none. There's a ton. On the action side, there's even more. ActiveCampaign is beautifully set up to use Zapier, right? There's all kinds of cool things you can do. There's a lot of creativity that you can use. And if you just look at some of my zaps from a high level, you'll see I've got some neat stuff going, right? I've got multiple step zaps, notification stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. So it is a different program. The free plan can take you pretty far, and then if you need to upgrade, that's on you. But yeah, we use it and like it, and it can help your business as well. All right, hope this video has been helpful. Hope this section on integrations kind of shows you another reason why ActiveCampaign's a great marketing automation tool in the CRM. Okay, see you in the next section.